And we are live, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Blueshirts Banter post-game show where your New York Rangers just defeated the Carolina Hurricanes by a score of 4-3 in double overtime. We are late on the stream. This was an absolute electric matchup, toe-to-toe, double overtime, and most importantly, Aaron, the Rangers snap their skid of overtime losses in the playoffs, snapping that 4-game skid. Obviously, Jerry's not here to sort of be here and celebrate with us. We wish that he was. Obviously, it was me and Jerry in the last post game. If you are here, hit that thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel as you're watching. Bottom right-hand corner as you're watching. It's going to be over there. Subscribe to the channel for more Rangers post game coverage this entire NHL playoffs. Aaron, how are you doing today?
Whoo, boy. That was a crazy game. I mean, I'm going to say it for Jerry because he's not on today, but shout out to all the Igor Shesterkin doubters saying, oh, it's putting Jonathan quick. Igor literally just blocked, a shot attempts was like 110 for Carolina, but he blocked 57 of them. So shout out to all those doubters out there. Hope you're not watching Rangers hockey because you're not fans. And also, too, shout out to Jacob Trouba, man. 9 block shots. Look like Dan Girardi out there. So, I mean, this win was electric. I think right now, team stat-wise, we are...
We'll go over the team stats. We will go over the team stats.
But all I got to say is that we are dominating on the penalty kill. Straight domination
absolutely.
Through both rounds, and this was a crazy win.
We're going to go over some goal scores. We're going to go over the team stats. We're going to go over the X's and O's. Obviously, we're going to try to keep it brief. I know it's already 11:30. If you are here, whether you're on X, come over to the YouTube, hit that subscribe button, hit the live chat with your initial thoughts and reactions. Rangers fans, Carolina Hurricanes fans, if you catch this stream, if you find this stream, if you're mad, if you're pissed, tell me what you're pissed about with the Hurricanes. We accept all fans. But, I got to shout out everybody in the chat taking their time out here on this late Tuesday night to celebrate this dub with us. We got Junior Swingman in the chat. Vinny called game. Let's go Rangers. We got Daniel saying happy Tuesday. It's almost Wednesday thanks to the double OT. We got Mason in the chat. Salute to you, Mason. God, that was stressful. Absolutely. And we got our boy Chris from the Giant Topic. Listen, we shout everybody out here. Our boy Chris, make sure you go subscribe. Great Giants content as always. Robbie is celebrating the win with us here. We win. We got Josh in the chat. We got Patty in the chat. I appreciate you all. Hit that thumbs up for us. No better way to support the stream and the channel by subscribing, obviously, and also hitting that thumbs up. Okay, let's get into it because this is an electric game. Obviously, leaving MSG to go to Raleigh, North Carolina up 2-0 was ever so important for this team. And it's late. If I spelled anybody's name wrong, please forgive me. I don't really care. I just wanted to go live after this double OT thriller. Here are your goal scorers. Lafreniere, not just his first 2 goals of the NHL playoffs in 2024 here in this early. You got Kreider on the power play goal and obviously Trocheck as well. Gensel for them gets 2 goals as well. Couple redirect goals from the Carolina Hurricanes, man. This is a testament to how many shots they actually throw at the net. Like you said, over 100 shots attempted, only about half of that actually were on goal. So that's the name of the game there, and they get a lot of redirects because of it. And I know 2 of those 3 goals were off of the redirects. What do you make of the goal scorers? Who on here on this list really impressed you? Obviously, other than Laffy, I wish I had my jersey on right now. I don't have it with me. But who impressed you, Aaron?
I'm going to have to go with Laugh just because of what we were talking about last year with him, that he was a bust, that we shouldn't re-sign him. It was a waste of a first overall pick. And ever since he came into the system with Laviolette, he has flourished. I mean, the 2 guys I think have flourished the most in this system is Panarin and Lafreniere. So he's definitely getting his money worth. He had 28 goals the regular season. And I think before this postseason, he only had 2 playoff goals in the last 2 playoff series. So that wasn't that good. Now he has 2 already in this series and only 1 game. Almost had a hat trick at least 2-3 times in this game. He could have sent it away. I think this game though should have been done a little bit earlier. Like there was a lot of attempts. Zibanejad had a few. Like I said, Laugh had a few. I think at one point Adam Fox had maybe one or two that we could have sent the game away. But
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely.
but other than that, though, pretty much Laugh. I mean, Trocheck has been our guy. I said it on the 5-hole. Check that out on Friday Sports Network. Me and Sunny Days Jerry are on that. I said Trocheck is pretty much the alpha right now in this playoff. Like he is that guy for us to kind of lead everything going, and he did it tonight with his 5-game goal streak, which I didn't even realize we haven't had one since 1933. So that was a little crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. No, this is we got Lafreniere, Laffy, just absolutely. He's had an impressive first series, but there's just no goals that translated for him, in my opinion. He played a solid series though, and this was a must, I guess, get right game in terms of the goal scoring for him to get on board. That's got to feel good for him. We got Gary Lafreniere's making some people in the chat feel good right now. We got Gary Bettman in the chat. Always salute to you, Gary. Thank you for being here. This win also has me feeling some type of way. Maybe not that way that it's making you feel, but nonetheless, more power to you. We love the thoughts in the chat. We love it. And if you guys are here, there's 52 people in this stream, whether you're on YouTube or whether you're on X. Come over to the YouTube, subscribe, because we're going to be going live after every single Rangers game in this playoff run. And make sure you subscribe for more Rangers content. Please, please hit that subscribe and thumbs up button. But yeah, no, I agree with you. Obviously, there's nothing but good words for Lafreniere. Definitely could have had a hat trick on multiple occasions. And I agree with you. This game should have been done. Listen, first of all, the Rangers gave me a mini heart attack at the end of regulation there on the power play where they almost let up a shorthanded goal twice. It almost happened twice. Igor, like we said in the chat, stood on his head, stood on 10 toes, and delivered just clutch saves, because Carolina definitely could have ended that with about 20 seconds left, maybe 15 seconds left in regulation. In the overtime periods, listen, before we get into the overtime periods, I'm just very curious what the Hurricanes are thinking on their power play. The Rangers' power play kill is awesome. Don't get me wrong, Aaron. But there are so many shot opportunities for the Canes, in my humble opinion, on that power play that they refuse to just put on the net. What do you make of that? Like, are you watching that actively and wondering the same thing, or do you think that there's a rhyme or reason to their strategy there? But I'm just like, dude, if you are shooting the puck at that high of a volume on net, 5-on-5, I understand it getting into the hands of the Rangers for the power play kill, but you got to have that a sort of similar approach on the power play, no? Or am I just wrong?
No, they didn't shoot. They barely shot in the power play. I think the most they had was the 3 shots. I think it was in the second period. But yeah, when you don't shoot on the power play, you can't be efficient. Like as simple as that. Like right now, I believe they are 0-16 against us right now in this series. And yeah, that's not going to get it done. That's not going to get it done for the Carolina Hurricanes. Like I believe it was Ray Ferraro or whatever his name is, was saying it. Like you got to shoot. They weren't shooting, and I was actually impressed too with the Rangers. The last 7 faceoff wins. I knew we were getting killed on that. The best guy though, a shout out to Alec Wenberg. That guy so far, I think he was 5 for 6 on faceoff wins. I don't know why we didn't use him more. I get Trocheck has a 60% faceoff win percentage, which is great for us. He's the top. I think he was probably one of the top guys in the NHL for it. But yeah, I mean, for us with those faceoff wins, we needed that because they were killing us off the faceoffs. But I'm just glad that we actually have a penalty kill that is actually producing, because I've seen where we've had way worse than those with the last few coaches.
Yep. No, I absolutely agree with you. Let me get to the chat here in just a second. We got Patty shouting out Trocheck here. We got our other co-host who is at work. We apologize, and I'm sure he apologizes as well. I know he wanted to be on here to celebrate with us. He's going to be on here with Aaron. I can't be on here Thursday after the game, but those two will be headlining the Blueshirts Banter post-game show. So shout out to Jerry in the chat. We appreciate you, Mr. Dan. And what else we got in here? We got chat. The number on Twitter is fake. They're all bots right now. Yeah,
I'm curious with this. I'm curious with this comment from Josh saying that the refs bailed the Rangers out with the last power play. How? Brady Shea literally
No.
checked Trocheck and then clipped him, which you could call hooking on that. So how is
Yeah.
that not
I
a
don't
penalty?
Josh, do you know what you're talking about? Please enlighten us. Do you
I mean, there
give us
were some,
a further explanation of this, Josh,
yeah,
please.
there
I
were
know you're
some
a football
questionable
guy. Come on.
calls. There were
Yeah.
some questionable calls on both sides. I'll give you that, and some no calls. But no, that one was definitely a little cross check right there.
Shout out to Jeremy in the chat as well. Huge Mets win, by the way, too, in St. Louis today by a score of 7-5. Adam Ottavino giving us a heart attack as well on that side of things. This is the best. This is the way the whole series is going to be. Absolutely. And Jerry and I said it. Like, Jerry basically said word for word, these teams are neck and neck even in terms of the talent level, and this is going to be a grinded out series. But then he followed it up by saying Rangers in 5. I said Rangers in 7. I'll get your thoughts on this series in terms of how it ends. I had a Carolina Hurricanes fan actually in my comments of the last post game we did saying that Canes are going to win in 6. That's going to be a very tall task, but I forget the name. If first of all, shout out to you. You're a Hurricanes fan. You said the Rangers played well. You kept it respectful. Shout out to you if you actually come on this podcast and see this. So shout out to you. But he said Canes in 6. I was like, really? What in the first game made you think the Canes are going to win this series in 6? Nonetheless, I digress. Let's move on just a little bit. We're going to come back to the goal scoring slide. I just want to get a better picture for the audience here in terms of what the team statistics were, and so that we can get a couple points off. Obviously, the shots, with the volume of shots the Canes get off, 57-39 in the Hurricanes' favor. The hits, I feel like the Rangers did a great job, especially on the power play, just being the power play kill, the penalty kill, just being aggressive. You see the hits in favor of the Rangers. But for me, also, the Rangers were a little bit sloppy. And this is where I'll critique them with the giveaways. 7-4 in favor of the Rangers. Giving the puck away, especially in the neutral zone, that is dangerous. And in other worlds, maybe in Carolina, maybe when they have the crowd behind them, that is going to haunt you if you keep doing that. You cannot give the puck away, especially in that zone. So what do you make of the team statistics here? Obviously, block shots, like you said, 9 for Jacob Trouba. I believe he was going for the record. Was 9 the record? Did he get it?
I
He was going for
believe
the record.
so. Yeah, I
Yeah, he was
believe
going
he
for the
got it.
record.
And
Yeah.
I just,
Anyways,
yeah, I just had
what
to
you
say
got
that
here?
just because I saw some Rangers Twitter. They're talking about, oh, how's this guy our captain, like this and that. And I'm like, the dude was making some hits. He throttled some guys in this one, and he went right into the boards on that one in the first overtime. But I mean, the dude is our enforcer. That's why he should have the C. The last defenseman we had that at C was Ryan McDonough. He was not doing stuff like that. He was more or less being slow to the puck and having the opposing team score on him. Whereas Jacob Trouba, yeah, he does make some cautious plays, like the penalty he had, I believe it was in the first overtime. That one was stupid. You can't be doing
Right.
stuff like that. I forgot what he did. I think he did might have been a cross check. Could be wrong on that. But
Regardless of what it was.
yeah, but regardless, yeah. But when you're putting your body on the line like that with 9 block shots, like that's going back to like Torts Ranger hockey. So like I don't know what people are talking about on that one, but
I think
yeah,
the gripe was there, Aaron. I think the gripe was that he had 3 penalties. He was in the box 3 times tonight. I think that was the gripe there with the Rangers fans.
eh, it's not bad though. It's not good, but it's not bad. He had some good hits though. So stuff to prevent from Carolina scoring. But I'm just glad, like in the stats, we haven't given up a power play goal yet. The penalty kill is sharp. I just I just can't believe there was 105 shot attempts by the Carolina Hurricanes. That is not going to fly going into this rest of this series. And I still like the defensive pairing that Lavalier has pulled out, where Miller is with Gustafson, or is it Schneider? And then Trouba is with Gustafson Schneider. It's like one of those. But I love that those combos are in, because you can't have Trouba and Miller together in the same lineup anymore. They're just not mixing. And I'm just glad that Lavalier has kept that. So that's really clutch. But yeah, going forward in this, just because Igor is healthy enough, because we did play Jonathan Quick a lot in the regular season, we cannot be giving him 57 saves. I think the most he's had was 79, which was 2 years ago against Pittsburgh. We cannot let that happen, because then going forward, he's going to get too tired. So, I mean, I'm just glad that he was very healthy now. But yeah, we can't be doing that going forward.
Yeah, we got Mark Ursing in the chat as well saying Vincent effing Trocheck. I appreciate you, Mark. Thank you for being here with us. And thank you for all other 82 people in the chat, whether you're on YouTube or X, for being here with us. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't done so already. And he also says that Schneider plays well with
Yeah,
Miller and
Schneider.
that pairing works well. And I think that's what it's been, really, adjustments on the fly for Peter Laviolette. And it's really been a blessing for this Rangers team, where we could not have said that as fans last year under a certain different coach, he who shall not be named. But nonetheless, speaking of the faceoffs won here, obviously in favor still of the Carolina Hurricanes, even with the Rangers winning the last 7, like you said, giving a shout out to Wenberg. How about Roslovic, man? That man has been a stud, and we said it. I know you and Jerry said it in the Cap series. Myself and Jerry said it this past game in game 1. That man, I understand that it hasn't translated, didn't translate to any goals today or anything like that, but just though his skate speed is on a different level. And I thought the Rangers at multiple points of this game were the slower team on the ice. And that was complete 180 of what I saw in game 1 and also the Cap series. So Roslovic, given that energy to this team, flying all over the place, and you said it, really underrated, low key, not low key per se, but really underrated acquisitions for the New York Rangers. I mean, this is absolutely gems of finds, and they are playing really well and contributing to these wins. And this is all that you would want if you're a Rangers fan looking back at the deadline, where I'm not sure the sense that you got on Rangers Twitter. I wasn't really browsing Rangers Twitter at that time as well, but maybe a little bit of an underwhelming sort of deadline at the time. But when you look at what these guys are contributing, I mean, come on now.
It's better than last year. So I saw a video they were saying with teams like playoff teams, you can't go after superstars. And we did that last year with Tarasenko and Kane, and I loved it. Cool. Like those guys are amazing. They're Stanley Cup champions. There's only one puck. So the thing they also said was that you need bottom 6 guys that are going to help you either on penalty kill, special teams, goons, anything that helped the team out in the lower end instead of scoring goals. And Roslovic has done a tremendous job so far. I don't think he's a first-line winger, but that's all right. He has to be put in that position. He answered the call. Great. Wenberg is a great face-off guy, which is why we had him, because we can't always have Vincent Trocheck doing it, because if you saw the stats, he was 7 for 24 in face-off so far. So it's a little shaky, but he's still nonetheless a great face-off guy. They just compile well with the team. Plus, shout out to too. He used 11 forwards today. He was making sure that,
Yes.
yeah, we're going to use the top 3 lines, maybe a little bit in the for 4 lines, but he knew exactly what to do. Whereas Rob Brindamore was using only 9, so he was only using 3 lines, and the 4th line was not efficient at all. So what's going to happen? You're going to get tired really quick. So great adjustments there. And like you said, with the speed, we have speedy guys on this team. As you can tell with Carolina, they have some speed with like Sebastian Aho, players like that. But there's also, they have older guys on that team that cannot hang.
Yep. Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you. And I guess before we get into the next topic here, because I do want to point out something that I noticed, especially on the defensive side of the puck. Um, I want to get a vibe check from the chat. If you're in the chat here, if you're watching actively right now, hit the chat, comment your thoughts and feelings. Can we get an LGR? Can we get an LFGR? Let's get some LGRs in the chat. Let's get some LGRs in the chat. And if you haven't hit that thumbs up, hit that thumbs up right now and subscribe to the channel for more Rangers content. I need some LGRs. Let me just type it in myself so you guys know that I'm active in here as well, paying attention. LGR with like 20 exclamation marks because I need it as we approach midnight on this weekday. One thing that the Rangers, I really feel, there we go, Junior. There we go, Junior. Yes, sir. Junior. We got Jason. We got Michael. There we go. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. One thing that I really wanted to point out with this Rangers defense, and it was especially evident early on, was that, and this is an adjustment that I expect them to make heading to Carolina, is that they were leaving, especially on the weak side, the middle of the ice wide open. And that needs to be cleaned up because Carolina was finding those holes, a couple of mishandled passes through the middle. That is something that I expect Laviolette to sort of address in practice ice time and then fix up heading into Carolina. Did you see that? Because it was a little bit too much of that happening for my comfort level. It was kind of scary. It was worrisome. I'm not going to lie to you.
Yeah, I thought that was a Tara Vanning goal, the second goal. I didn't realize that was Jake Gensel when that happened. So it looked like they had 2 to 3 guys over there on the, I'm looking this direction on the right side, which left Jake Gensel wide open right there. Which is exactly what you're talking about. I believe that was near the end of the second period when they scored. So I thought it was Teravainen because they were talking about it. But yeah, I absolutely. That's the problem with our defense sometimes too. Even the regular season was they're kind of just cones out there, just pretty much just stand there like this. And I mean, Adam Fox too. He's had his moments. I like that he stepped up in this game though on the defensive side and basically calling out Tony DeAngelo, and he will wreck Tony DeAngelo. Don't let it fool you. Tony DeAngelo is a fake goon. But yeah, no, I totally agree. Especially going into Carolina, it's always tough there. And since they're down 2-0, the wins have come out of their sails. And I know 86% of the time, if a team goes up 2-0, they win the series. The last time we were up 2-0, it was against Tampa Bay, and we all know what happened with
Yeah,
that one.
we're not bringing that energy into the chat, Aaron. I'm
Yeah,
still having nightmares about that series.
yeah, but as long as the defense just steps up like that, not leaving it so much wide open shots in the middle of the ice, then we should be fine. Because other than that, they cleaned it up really well in the last 3 periods.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. Listen, I'm not going to lie to you all. Everybody in the chat, you all are doing a great job. We've gotten awesome support on this podcast with the post games, especially this series, but also going back into the Cap series. Hopefully that you all are enjoying this commentary here, because last time we had an Australian person join us waking up at 6 a.m., a Rangers fan for the game. Now we have Ashley from Toronto checking in to say, what a effing game here. Ashley, thank you so much. I appreciate it. And the NHL playoffs do rule. This is exciting hockey. And tonight is the epitome. And I believe the Stars game as well with the Avs was 3-0. And then the Avs came back to make it 3-2. I believe that's still going on, if I'm not mistaken. This is the epitome of what playoff hockey is all about. And I love it. This is exciting. And would I have liked it to go to double overtime? No. Of course not. No, I'll take the regulation wins when they come. But also to this point right here, just transitioning a little bit. Where does it say? Oh, yes, this comment right here. We can play so much better, Aaron. And I so agree with this comment. This was a little bit of sloppy hockey, in my opinion, from the Rangers side. They cleaned it up in the third period, especially when they got the equalizer, but it was sloppy hockey. You talk about a goal with however many seconds left, definitely less than 30 seconds left to end the first period. A goal within the 2-minute mark to end the second period. And it was like, what's going on here? And then they turned on the Jets. And then the guys, they turned it on. So imagine us coming into this post-game stream being 1-1, losing in overtime, right? In a sloppy game like that, heading to Carolina versus Wiggle, there's a little bit of breathing room. Obviously, you can't let your foot off the pedal, because we all know the last series that was 2-0 a couple years back. We understand that. But this is like a vibe changer. This is a momentum changer. Can you imagine how defeated and deflated that Canes team has to feel right now? And whoever was going to come out on top was going to have the better feeling. Obviously, you just put your body on the line for what, 100 minutes? Like, like, let's be
Pretty
real
much,
here.
yeah.
It was 5 periods. So, man, I can't believe it. I can't believe it, man. And shout out to Igor Shesterkin. This might win comment of the night. Igor is the GOAT.
Yeah,
Igor,
and
what more as a Rangers fan? I had somebody chatting me up in the comment section of my X account talking about the game was over because Igor was getting beat. I believe it was glove side, he was getting beat, or whatever the analysis was, whatever the assessment was to that Twitter user. And I was just like, I didn't even respond, because I'm just like, what are we doing here?
he's not
If
even
you're a
watching the
Rangers fan
game.
and you're still doubting Igor Shesterkin, who, by the way, advances his streak of giving up 3 goals or less in the playoffs to 29 games now, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Aaron. This dude kept the Rangers in the game the whole night. Look how many saves he made. Look how many shots he had to just defend and ward off. Please spare me. Spare me.
He's had
And
4.
yes, Ashley, the Canes can definitely play. Yes, they can definitely play. I'm gonna give props where props are
It's
due. They can play
it's just their
100%. This is an even
confidence is
matchup.
going down a little bit.
Yeah, yeah.
That's all. That's all we're saying. But yeah, I mean, for 40 save playoff games, which is third all time. Obviously, Hank has 10, which is we all know in the past. And then Mike Richter with 6. So that's pretty good. I'm just saying. Oh yeah, Ashley, nah, I'm good. I don't want crybaby Mitch Marner and Riley versus Durkin. So I'm good. He can stay. Plus, I mean, Marner has a no trade clause, so he's not moving anywhere from Toronto. But no,
Yeah.
shout out to for the ESPN crew. Loving that PK Subban was in Madison Square Garden so we could actually get some real analysts with Kevin Weeks and Mark Messier. And I didn't even notice it, but yeah, I mean, maybe also too, Frederick Anderson had a clean glove, a new glove. So that kind of probably affected too in this game. And I hope the Rangers saw that. I think going into the double overtime, because that's when Kevin Weeks was talking about it.
Yeah, I saw that as well. I mean, I didn't really see it, but like they made it a point in the broadcast to bring that up, and obviously, like what a huge difference that makes. Listen, I never played hockey in my life, but I can only imagine with how he looked in the first game. A couple of like pretty, not gonna say easy shots that went through Mr. Anderson's like glove side, but nonetheless, that could have made the difference. And hopefully, the Rangers are paying attention to that as well for the rest of the series. But we were talking about maybe a potential goalie change last post game with the way Freddie Anderson was looking with Jerry, but it looks like he just also stood on his head all night long and kept the Canes in the game until he didn't at the end there. But I don't know, man. That was one of the best goaltended games on either side that I've seen in quite some time. Like that was a battle back and forth. Truly.
Yeah, I think the craziest one that I saw was probably the same thing playoff, but it was Western Conference Final 2014, Blackhawks Kings, and that's when Jonathan Quick was on that team, and that was a crazy overtime goalie matchup, and obviously we all know who won that game, but that was a crazy game too.
Aaron, Kreider legacy. They're talking about the Raptors during the broadcast. You have any pieces on Kreider here? Because I definitely think he deserves some love tonight.
Yeah, he's pretty much first in everything playoff wise for the Rangers, except for he's still third in points, which obviously Brian Leetch and Mark Messier are 1-2. I mean, those are just some average guys, just some average guys on the Rangers. But Jerry said it before I did. I'll keep saying I have egg on my face. I wanted JT Miller over Chris Kreider at one point in time back in the day. So the fact that he's first in playoff goals. I believe he has the most for tipped in playoff goals. And there's another one he was first in. But yeah, I think once he retires, you give that probably about 5 years, 6 years, and his number will go up in the rafters. He'll be like an Adam Graves situation. Like he won't be like Messier where it's just going to be automatically up there, but he's going to get up there. That's
Yeah,
for sure.
absolutely. I mean, and they were talking about in the broadcast, and I was just like, "Where's Kreider for the first two periods?" And he obviously gets the equalizer in the third period there. Staying in the game, man. I think that really is the key to this series as well. We obviously know that the Rangers have gone out to hot starts. They scored the first goal in each of these first two games. Obviously, the Canes in both games getting quick equalizers, so to speak. And this is just going to be a back and forth game. That's why Ashley was saying the Canes can play. Like we know if anybody knows if the Canes can play, it's definitely the Rangers. It's definitely the Rangers. And it takes me back to that Game 7 series where everybody was winning at home. And then the Rangers had a tough, tall task to go on the road in Carolina, win Game 7. They did just that. So this is
Do,
always going to be a tough battle and,
do
and,
you
and
think
very
that's
big
going to
respect
happen
for
in this
that.
series?
It could. It could. This is why I refrain from saying like Rangers in 5 or like
Yeah.
Rangers in whatever. I said Rangers in 7. I just put that because I'm like, if history repeats itself, like this is big home ice advantage for both teams. It happened 2 years ago, and it has the capability with the way these two games have shown themselves in the first two games right now. I know I'm repeating myself. It's getting really late. I apologize, but like it has all the makings of repeating what happened 2 years ago. Like, am I wrong for thinking that?
No, you're not wrong on that. I mean, I do think it is a different Rangers team, though. So I think with this one with Lafayette, we're a lot more skilled. We shoot the puck more. I mean, the kid line is not there anymore, but the kids are showing up. I mean, I know Capo Caco only has the one goal, but I mean, if you the first laugh goal was insane. There's no way Frederick Anderson could have even seen that, and the fact that he could make that shot right up in there in the top left corner is just amazing. And this again, we have different guys than 2 years ago. Where if you remember, like when we got down in those games against Carolina, we were pretty much finished. Whereas this team, they're like, no, like, it's Stanley Cup or bust from Panarin. He's showing up, even though he had 3 shots. He had 3 assists in this game. People forget about that.
Yes.
So, I mean, he has more points in the first series than he did all of last year. So the fact that all these guys are stepping up, Zibanejad, I wish he did a lot more shooting at the net than passing when he doesn't need to. That one's always been a concern for me in this playoffs, but other than that, everyone's doing their job. I mean, even Matt Rempe, I think we're like 19-4 when he's in the lineup. So I mean, that's pretty good to me. That's a pretty good winning percentage. But yeah, no, actually, that was actually a good one too. Brodsky versus Vasilevsky game 2 and that one. That was definitely a good showdown.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Absolutely. And we got Mike in the chat here saying big, nothing else to say. This is big. This is big, Mike. This is big. Do we have any Canes fans in the chat? I'm very curious. We got about 103 people in
No, I
here
don't
on
see any
X
in the
and YouTube
comment.
combined. We have any Canes fans in here? Please show yourself in the chat. We are friendly. We don't bite. We be respectful. We're respectful on here. If you keep
We're
it
hockey
respectful,
guys.
we're
It's all
respectful.
good.
I'm curious. Anybody?
I wonder if they're gonna go with the goalie change though.
Would
I mean,
you after that performance?
so I hate talking about this one, but the Boston Bruins did that. First, they started with Allmark and nothing could go down, and then they turned into Jeremy Swayman, went with that hot hand, and then boom. I'm not saying when you turn from Frederick Anderson to oh my god, I said this last night too on the 5-hole. I can't pronounce his name, but he's another Russian goalie. It's like Kuchechov or something like that, and he was dominant for them when Frederick Anderson was out with the blood clots, but yeah, Ashley, absolutely. This Rangers team buzzes around net more than the past Rangers team. Exactly, that's what I'm pretty much talking about. Yeah, as well. That's what happened 2 years ago, and also from Steve. Hurricanes had a chance to win tonight, but we're unable to do so. No way this goes to 7 games. Ooh, interesting. Yeah, you're on mute.
I said I was gonna say sorry. I'm on mute. It's late, guys. I'm sorry. It's 8 minutes to midnight. This game
I
went
still
way
I still
past
have
my
I still have a
bedtime.
2-year-old up because he was watching the Ranger game with me.
Exactly. We're dedicated to this, man. We're dedicated to this. But Steve, man, I don't want to jinx the Rangers. I hope it doesn't get to 7, but I can really just see a repeat of 2 years happen. Listen, I'm going to refrain the predictions. We predicted it last stream. Jerry's got his prediction out there. Listen, you know what, Aaron? I'm going to let you give your prediction because Jerry gave his last stream. I gave mine last stream. A couple of people in the chat were saying it. If you are in the chat, if you are new here to this channel, hit the chat. What do you think this series goes to? Canes win or Rangers win, and in how many games? Aaron, what do you think, first and foremost? I've already been on record saying Rangers in 7. What
Yeah,
do you think?
I said it last night on the 5-hole on Friday Sports Network. I said Raiders in 6. So I
I
don't
like
think
that.
it's going to be a sweep, and I don't think it's going to be a gentleman's sweep. I think Carolina is going to get one in Carolina and maybe get one in New York, but overall, I think we're going to take the series. Ooh, Steve going with that gentleman's sweep. Steve says Rangers win 5. Woo! That's I hope. I mean, that would be very clutch for us because that's going to give us more rest. Because whoever's coming out of that Bruins Panthers series, and I still think it's going to be the Panthers. That was a good game last night, so we gotta be ready for that team if we go for that gentleman's sweep. But.
So if you're saying Rangers in 6, how does that shake out? Because I can see a very clear path to Rangers in 5. You take one on their home ice and you come back to MSG and win it. But how would that look in 6?
So since we're up 2-0, going down to Carolina for 2 games, because it's Carolina and it is a crazy atmosphere down there. They can take both games in that series. And then we could take go 1-for-1 like that, because I think it goes home, and then it goes like home away like that. If I'm correct, I could
Yeah,
be
I think so.
wrong.
Yep.
So if they take the 2 out of there, which I can see happening just because of momentum so high, they're going to come after it, because this game was very chippy and very aggressive. And if you think this happens in New York, wait till you go down south. It's going to get even more aggressive down there in Raleigh. So that's where I think maybe the 2 games can come from. But if we can split in there, and then maybe they'll take one at home, because we just will have that. Oh man, we could gentlemen sweep them. That will probably lose somewhere in MSG and then go back to Raleigh and win there.
Listen, we got some wonderful people in this chat right now. Jack saying this is the most skilled Ranger team since I've been watching since 1984.
Ooh,
Steve
that's awesome.
is saying he's been watching since 1976. This has to be one of the best teams ever that he's seen.
Whoa,
And then we got my
they're the
guy.
94 team. Jesus.
And then we got my guy Wicker Media, who's actually live streaming the game as well. If you're a Rangers fan
Oh,
and you
wow.
like to listen to some commentary during the games outside of the national broadcast, go subscribe to Wicker Media as well. Great stuff over there. Appreciate you being on here in this podcast, man. This post game. It's a great time to be a Rangers fan. Up 2-0. Mike was saying it. Who could sleep after such a huge W? Let's go Rangers. Absolutely, Mike. Absolutely. On air for 4+ hours, and somehow he has a voice left. That's good to hear, man. You got to rest up, because game 3 is calling your name on Thursday. I'm not going to be up here with the beautiful gents of the other crew, the other co-hosts, Aaron and Jerry on the Blueshirts Banter post game, but I'll be back for game 4, and Aaron and Jerry will take it away for game 3 on Thursday. They'll be live on this channel as well. We got a huge Knicks game tomorrow. Some tough news with Mitchell Robinson going down. He's out for the playoffs. Tough blow, but next man up mentality. I'll be live for the post game tomorrow. Going to do it a little bit later. We're not going to do it right after. Got some schedule conflicts, but we will get it in before the night's end. And there you go. 36 hours till Wicker
Ooh.
actually moves to Raleigh. There you go. There you have it. A Rangers fan in Raleigh territory. Absolutely.
Yeah, but
Listen,
before we
Aaron.
end this, sorry to cut you off.
No,
Before we
go
end
ahead.
this for game 3, it might be around this time as well, around like 11. Just kind of depends what happens. But yeah, so just anyone that's watching this or watches the replay, it might just be around that time instead of like right after the game.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I said, if you're new here and you're just subscribing, and if you're already subscribed but you haven't tapped the notifications button, tap the notifications button, because you will get notified as soon as the stream goes live. You get a notification and you can come either, I guess, celebrate or vent with us, depending on what the end result of the game is. Right now we're celebrating, but you never know. This is going to be a tough series. And that's how we're going to do it. But usually we like to go right after the games, but obviously schedule commitments. We do have lives outside of NHL playoff hockey, of course. So listen, Aaron, final thoughts, maybe an adjustment or two that you have in mind for the Rangers heading into game 3, a tougher environment in Carolina. We know that all too well. What are you looking for in game 3? And then just some final thoughts before we get up on out of here.
Yeah, so pretty much I just needed the defense to step it up just a little bit. Definitely need to help out Igor in the next 2 games just because of how much he took on tonight. And again, I know he's had a lot of rest because Jonathan Quick was coming in the regular season, but the defense just needs to pick it up just a little bit. I know we're 4 for 9 on the power play. Just keep going with that momentum, and it's not really much else to say because everyone's pretty much doing their job. Like Vincent Trocheck's leading the pack. Panarin's doing what he needs to do. Cryer's doing what he needs to do. Loving the physicality that's not named Matt Rempe. We need to keep that up in Carolina because I feel like I think I said in game 1, this team could be like the 2014 Kings of how aggressive that they are. And that team almost had 200 hits in the entire NHL playoffs. So if we can do that, that would be amazing. Thinking game 3, I think we're gonna take the dub, even though I said it what I just said. What could happen in Carolina? I think it's gonna be a close one again. And as long as we keep them off that the power plays, get a little less penalties, and if we do that penalty kill, just keep it going.
Yeah, absolutely. I guess my only sort of adjustments that I would make is what we said earlier in the stream before we get up on out of here. Get some bodies in the middle of that ice, especially the weak side when the Canes are in their offensive zone. Get some bodies in the middle of that ice. That's where the block shots come. Obviously, the Rangers have been doing a great job in terms of blocking shots, but protect the weak side of the ice, especially when the Canes are on the offensive side of the zone and the giveaways. The giveaways need to be cleaned up. That's a given. Any single time you see that you are giving the puck away more than your opponent, that just needs to be cleaned up. It was 7-4. Rangers had 3 more giveaways than the Canes. Obviously, I don't think translated directly into anything dangerous today, but you never like to put that pressure on the defense. And obviously, the defense is probably the ones giving the puck away, but you never want to put that pressure, unnecessary pressure on your goalie that's already doing a great job in Igor Shesterkin. So I appreciate you, Mike. Thank you so much for hitting that subscribe button and that thumbs up button. I appreciate you. We'll see you all next time on Thursday for the post game. Hit that notifications button as well to get notified when we do go live. Ashley, I want to prop that comment up here. I do. But my superstition in me, I can't prop it up here, man. I can't. Ashley, I'm sorry. I hear you, though. I hear you. I'm not going to even say what the comment is, but I like the observation. So thank you so much, Ashley. Shout out to you watching from Toronto or a Toronto native, wherever you're at right now. Shout out to everybody in the chat. You guys have been absolutely wonderful. Junior, I'm going to just go one by one because I appreciate you all. We got Wicker Media. We got Jack, Mike, Ashley, Steve. Who else am I missing here? Other Michael. Let's see here. Mr. Finn, I
MRP
believe.
Finn.
Yeah. Tyler. We got Jeremy. We got
Rodion.
Jason, Valentine. We got Rodion. Listen, Mark. We got Mark Cursing.
Patty.
Josh. Jerry, Patty, Gary. Oh my goodness, guys. I love it. I love it.
Mason.
Thank you all
Giants
so much for
topic.
the support. As always, hit that thumbs up, subscribe, comment your thoughts and opinions. If there's anything that we said in this post-game live stream that we might have missed in your eyes, or you want to just sort of go back and sort of just touch on, hit the comment section. It's not only the live chat, but hit the comment section afterward, and we will respond to all comments as well. And just keep on supporting. We appreciate it. It means a lot to us. We like to shout out everybody. We like to have a conversation in the chat, and we will definitely prop up comments as well, whether you're a Rangers fan or a Hurricanes fan or a hockey fan in general. As long as you're respectful, we will have a conversation about it. As always, it's your boy CP. Find me on X, Instagram, YouTube, all that good stuff, doing Mets, Rangers, Knicks content, Giants content when the season comes around if I have time. It gets really hard to do all these teams, man. It gets hard in the schedule and all that good stuff, but I find a way to do it anyways because I love this. I love talking puck. I love talking ball, all that good stuff. And also, if you're interested in becoming a channel member, make sure you check out the channel memberships as well. They are live. Go to my channel. You'll see the channel membership options. You get exclusive perks like special emojis during the live streams, all that good stuff. It'll tell you exactly what comes with each of the 2 subscriptions. Thank you all so much. Until Thursday, let's go Rangers. Huge game 2 victory in double overtime tonight, 4-3 against the Carolina Hurricanes. We will see you all on the Blueshirts Banter post-game show on Thursday after game 3. Aaron, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much. Let's go Rangers. We are out. Peace.